I hope I get to move into a long-term care home when I get old, said no one ever. You provide a service where your clients really don't want to have to do business with you, and yet the work you do is crucial and badly needed by your residents and their families. When our CCAC case manager told us that it was time for my husband to move into long-term care, that he could no longer be safely cared for at home, although I knew it was the right thing for everyone, it was heartbreaking. When my dad's Parkinson and Lewy body dementia was taking a toll on both him and my mom, she had to be convinced he would be taken care of even better in long-term care than with her, because she remembered years ago he made her promise never to put him in an old folks' home. The guilt and even the shame that families feel about moving a loved one into long-term care is overwhelming, and it doesn't go away after the admissions meeting. Sometimes what you experience with families and their passionate behavior is their guilt, shame, fear, and regret that leaks out through their fatigue, burnout, and low capacity to deal with any more issues. The day I admitted Ty as a resident, we had already endured almost 2 years of hundreds of medical appointments, just trying to get a diagnosis for his disease. I was working full-time, raising our 2 kids, caregiver for my husband, and at the end of my rope emotionally and physically, and trying to be the manager of our home and hold everything together. I just remember driving home that day after leaving him there, the weight of the world firmly planted on my shoulders, feeling incredibly guilty, sad, and just horrible. I didn't realize it at the time, but there was one thing that someone at the home could have done to help me feel just a little bit better in this crazy situation. A phone call. Had someone called me that night to say, "Hey Deb, everything's fine. Ty's met some new friends. You're right, he is very sociable, but I'm really calling to see how you're doing. That must have been a really hard day for you. How are you doing? How are the kids? How can we best support you?" That kind of a phone call, a reach out, a check-in would have made a world of difference to me. I would have felt like they really did care about me and my family, and that they could empathize with how that day shattered our family's world as we knew it. And now we had to redesign our life to include their long-term care home and the staff and other residents and families. A phone call to the family the afternoon or evening after admission can be a huge investment in your relationship with them. I believe by taking the time and investing up front to build a strong relationship with your families, you can avoid potential friction and conflict down the road when miscommunication or misunderstandings happen. And as you know, they do happen. As busy as you are, I believe this reach out of compassion and connection is vital. How could you incorporate this into your admissions process? If you have already, I'd love for you to share how that's working in the comments below.